Hello everybody and welcome back to the Chassis Variant series with myself, Critical Rocket. We're kicking off with the Dragons now. First of the heavies and a long road of the Chassis Variant series. Yes, it has been chugging along very slowly, I know. But here we are in the heavies at the Innisphere selection. And what a heavy to start with, the Dragon. Now, I have always been a fan of the Dragon. It's a nice, simple little mech for me. Little AC5 in there with an LRM-10 and a couple of medium lasers, although technically I think one of those medium lasers is supposed to be on the back of the mech to shoot at any targets that got behind it. But obviously, MechWarrior Online, you don't really need that. So it's been moved to the front with the left arm, I believe. So yeah, the 1N. It's the original of the Dragons. It was a mech that was built in the dying days of the Star League, and thus it was turned down by the SLDF. They favoured the Shadowhawk, or an upgraded version of that, instead. The result of this was that the company who designed it was contacted by the Draconis Combine, who pretty much wholesale bought the design and continued to construct dragons on a vast scale. The Draconis Combine made so many, in fact, that entire units were composed of that mech. They liked the speed and obviously the variance that it gave, so a little bit of range support, some ballistics with some energy backup. It made the mech quite effective. In fact, even the Federated Sons and the Lyran Commonwealth were using them, including many other factions of mercenaries, pirates, you name it. Pretty much everybody's got dragons somewhere along the line because so many have been built. So the 1N was very popular in the Combine, and it was so popular, in fact, it went all the way through to 3025, where it had begun its sort of dying days because the Grand Dragon, which isn't in MechWarrior Online, was constructed. And basically the Grand Dragon was like a slight upgrade to sort of improve on this venerable design. But even then, it still continued to be used during the clan invasion, and I think it isn't until the 3060s when it gets dropped entirely. So sadly the Dragon does not get built past a certain date in 3060 something. So yeah, a good run though, a few centuries, you know, not bad, good innings for the old Dragon. Now, MechWarrior Online, all of this history means jack all when, you know, it's a heavy. Does it deliver the goods? Well, not as well as other heavies. You don't see as many dragons as you used to. Some builds for the Dragon on some variants were incredibly effective, such as dual AC5 builds of the Dragon, which were highly dangerous and could take you down with a withering amount of fire incredibly quickly. Very frustrating amount of damage that it could pump out very quickly. Its main advantage is the fact that out of the box it's a very fast heavy. It does mean that it can keep up with some mediums, and its weapon loadout is fairly decent. You know, the AC5 and LRM-10 and a couple of mediums does allow it to at least fight on all ranges. It can do okay damage. It's definitely a mech that needs to work with the team rather than away from the team, as otherwise it can be very quickly picked apart. It has a very prominent torso. I remember back in the early days when it first arrived in MechWarrior Online, it was one of the first mechs added. It ended up becoming a bit of a sort of running gag about its front end sticking out from behind rocks, making it a lot easier to kill. Obviously, the Dragon is looked down upon largely in MechWarrior Online. It's not the most popular heavy out there, and it's unlikely to ever really win any new fans over. So, is it worth getting? With the plethora of heavies that are out there nowadays, it's really only one of those variants that if you're new to MechWarrior, you should really only pick it up when you're far more comfortable. You've got a lot of C-bills under your belt, and you want to just, you know, add more mechs, get more mastery and that kind of thing. However, it doesn't mean it's a bad mech, it just isn't as good as some of the other heavies that are out there, hardpoint-wise and the like. You know, especially with the clan options out there, with the Timberwolf and the Vulture and the Ebon Jaguar and all that crap. All those things leave the poor Dragon in the dust. But if you're a fan of original Battletech, honestly, can you really leave the Dragon out? Because I can't. Remember, everybody, hold a place for the Dragon. Remember the Dragon, because it remembers you. It's your friend, on the battlefield. And what better mech to be a symbol of the Draconis Combine, itself having a dragon, using the dragon heavy battle mech. In fact, let's bring the dragon back, folks. Let's make the dragon great again. Yeah, let's use a slogan from some recent politics, but let's use it for BattleTech, and let's make the dragon great again. Let's bring it back and make it, a prominent mech on the field. I want to be seeing, from now on, I want to be seeing more dragons in drops. More of them, less Cauldron Borns, less Mad Cats, less Thunderbolts, less all that shit. Let's get more dragons out there, folks, because it's a damn good thing. I mean, it's a platform. It's a new platform. It's a political platform, and that's what we're doing now. Bring back the dragon. Bring back the dragon PGI. Improve it. Give it quirks that make it so it has to be taken. It's an essential mech. Let's do this. Also, fuck you, Masakari. Get out of my face. Get out. Oh yeah, people in the chat really hated me and the other guy at the end. Because we decided to hold the high ground, and they all ran off and died. That was quite fun. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a good one. This was a good laugh. I like the dragons. And if you don't like dragons, you should try them out before you hate on them. And if you hate them after trying them, I just don't think you're trying hard enough to like them. So, what more for you? I think it's your loss, personally. So, yeah, have a good one. Yeah. And if you like dragons, well, good on you. And if you don't, then, snooty. Turn my nose up to you. Yes, I do, sir. Ooh, LRM fire. Anyway, bye.
Center torso, critical damage. Right